Any questions, guys? Anything to discuss before starting the session? I'm going to start the VM now. So once the VM started, we'll start with the SQL Server installation. So I guess anyone facing issues with RDP, guys? Anyone facing issues with RDP? Right? Is your operating system supporting RDP?
Uh, Sir, IP address will be changed.
Yes, it
Uh,
will be changed.
it's every
It
time.
will be changed every time. That's
Okay.
why every time you have to connect, you have to log into the server directly, and you have to check the IP address. You can update the IP address in the RDP window. Okay. So
Okay.
mostly, if you are connected to the same network, generally don't change. But in case if you are changing the network from mobile to Wi-Fi to mobile, generally the IP address will be changed. So in case if you are not able to connect to the regular IP address, log into the server directly and check it. Okay, what is the issue and all, you can check it.
Okay.
I mean to say, not issue, the updated
Mm.
IP address you can check, and you can just use that IP address to connect.
Okay,
Guys,
sir.
those
Thank
who are not, yeah, those who are not able to connect to the server through RDP, but if you want a big screen, okay, I guess some of you are not able to use that feature because of the OS limitations, right? I told you you should have Windows 10 Pro or 11 Pro to utilize that feature, RDP feature. But still, if you don't have Windows 10 Pro and all, and if you're not able to connect through RDP, if you don't like this small screen, if you want big screen, generally if you just maximize this, still you don't get the big screen, right? So there is a shortcut for that. What is the shortcut to resize this window? You can just go to view, okay? In the scaled mode, you can just drag it, guys. How much you want, you can drag it. I'm not going to disturb this machine. In case if any of you are using this without RDP, if any one of you are connecting to the server directly without RDP feature, you can go to this view option. Don't use full screen mode, it don't allow. Okay, you can still see the same window, small window. You can click on the scaled mode. You can just drag the corners, all the corners you can drag it, so the machine will be big. Or else you can use adjust window size also. You can drag it little bit left side, right side, and the corners you can drag it, so the machine will be big, guys. Okay, is it clear, guys, what I'm explaining? In case if you are not using RDP, if you are unable to use RDP feature, still you can get the big screen using the view option. Okay, in the view option, in the scaled mode and adjusted mode, adjust window size, using these two options or either of them, you can use it, and you can just maximize it. Okay, if you direct maximize, you don't see the big screen, you can just see small screen only. So if you want to maximize, you can use this option. Okay, this scale mode and adjust window size. Fine, clear? Right, now let me connect to the server, guys, and mostly the same IP address will be there, so I'm using the same IP address to connect. Right. So this is very important, guys. So SQL Server installation from this point onwards, as the DBR work will start. Whatever we configured till now, whatever we did till the last class, this will be taken care by the all these activities till last class will be taken care by the Wintel team and network team, guys. Network related stuff will be taken care by the network team. Windows related, machine related stuff will be taken care by the Wintel team. Once everything is ready, then we are ready to install the SQL Server. So in the morning session, we discussed how to copy the software. So generally, in our practice, you can attach as an image. Go to Oracle VirtualBox, go to the machine settings. You can see the Oracle VirtualBox Manager and all, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, done. So sometimes the screens will be different. Just let me know in case if you are not able to see that screen. Okay. So go to storage section. Earlier it was Windows Server operating system we have attached, right? So we'll replace this Windows Server with a SQL Server 2019 application. Okay. In the practice, this is how we'll attach the image. But in the organization, I told you, right? We don't have any access to the Oracle VirtualBox Manager. Okay, this will be controlled by your Windows team only. So we cannot attach like this in the organization. So what to do, guys? We discussed about the shared path in the morning class. Okay, so like this, the shared path will be there. You have to get the shared path from your colleagues. They will tell you, guys, lot of shared paths will be there. Okay, this is very important, guys. SQL Server softwares, service packs, cumulative updates, scripts and all. We cannot directly copy paste to the server from your local laptop. So we will use shared path. This shared path will have access to the respective servers. So we'll open the shared location, the server that you want to copy, and you can directly copy the softwares from the shared location to the server. This is how generally we'll copy the SQL Server software in the organization, guys. Okay. This is how generally we'll copy the software in the organization. Chalo. Now, let me log into the server. I guess it's already okay. Fine. You can close the server manager, guys. Generally, we don't use the server manager regularly. Okay, so it will pop up automatically when you log into the server. You can close it. It don't create any problem. Okay, right. So just open this folder. Okay, you can see the software now, updated software. You can see in the this PC folder. This is called quick access, this PC folder. Just click on this PC. There you can see the C drive and another drive. Okay, you can see the C drive. You can also see the D drive, the software's drive. Okay, open this. Okay, don't double click on it, right click, open. You can do that. And this is the setup file, guys, we have to use. So using this setup file, you can install the SQL Server. SQL setup file is very important. So you can see the application file. What is the type of file, guys? This is an application type file. So now what we can do, we have to install the SQL Server. So this is the first step. Copy the softwares to the any location. You can copy to any C drive, D drive, anything. Okay. Copy the softwares from your shared location to the particular drive. From there, you can just sometimes in the organization also same, what I can say, same ISO images will be there. Okay, so you can right click open. If you can't open, right click mount option will be there on the ISO image, guys. Either right click open or right click mount. If you use that right click mount, generally it will open. Mount also will open, guys. Okay. Chalo. So this is our setup file. Once you open this setup file, you have to, what is the prerequisites, guys? You have to restart the Windows machine before installing the SQL Server. Okay. You have to restart the Windows machine for the best practices. These two steps are very important. First step is you have to open the application with run as administrator. And before that, you have to restart the Windows Server before installing SQL Server. So in case if any pending things are there, those pending things and all will be cleared. In case if any pending restart operations are there, those pending restart operations will be cleared using that restart option, guys. The best practice before installing SQL Server, always restart the Windows machine. Then open the software and right click, go to setup file, right click, run as administrator. Okay. Right. So setup file will open, guys. So you can see here, and SQL Server 2019 setup file is going to open now. So once you open the setup file, you can see it will open a small application called Installation Center. What is that, guys? Installation Center. Okay, this is called Installation Center. See, SQL Server Installation Center. Everything you can get it from here only, guys. Everything. Because in the installation center itself, you can see a lot of options. What and all hardware and software requirements are there. Any system configuration checks you want to do. These are all different options, guys. There are a lot of options in this installation center. Okay, so don't expect that everything we are going to discuss today only. Okay, so slowly we are going to touch all the components during the whole training, guys. Okay, slowly we are going to touch all the components during the training. So one by one, one by one. As of now, for installation, what and all components we need, we are going to discuss. Later we'll discuss upgradation and clustering. So a lot of options will be there. So all the components we are going to discuss, guys. So this is called left side, you can see, right? This is called planning. These are called pages. Okay, planning page, installation page, maintenance page, tools page, resource page, advanced page, and options page. These are all called pages, guys. Okay, page. You can see this as a page, guys. Okay, so in the planning page, you can see all these options, right? If you go to installation page, you can see some other options like installation, new SQL Server standalone installation. So like this, you can see some other options, guys. Okay, and if you go to maintenance page, you can see some other options like if you want to do upgradations like addition, upgradation, and all you can see here. And tools, in case if you want to get any tools, okay, so you can get it from here. And resources, okay. So in case if you need any documents, mostly resources means documents, guys. Okay, you can see all the resources here, and advanced options and all. You can see different types of installations options will be there. So you can see all these options, guys. Okay, let's go to installation page. We'll start with the installation page, guys. Right, so now we are going to install a new SQL server. Guys, again I'm saying server or instance, both are same. Okay, SQL server instance. What is instance, guys? One SQL server software copy is called one instance. Okay, so as a DBA team, generally other people will call it as a server, but as a DBAs, we'll call this as an instance. Instance means one SQL server software copy, one instance. Like that, you can install multiple SQL servers in one Windows machine. Again, I'm saying we can install multiple SQL servers or multiple SQL instances in one Windows machine, guys. One Windows server can host multiple SQL servers. How many? I'll tell you. Okay, how many instances we can install, we'll discuss. Right, okay. So one SQL software copy is called one instance. If you go to the server now, okay, so where is the machine? Let me minimize this. Right, okay, so if you see here, let me do one thing. This is server, right? Right. What is drive? Drive, yeah. Right, okay, so right. This is which batch? Batch 50. Ah, okay. Let me open batch 52. Right. So if you see here, there is an option called new SQL Server standalone installation or add features to an existing installation. Forget about this. Okay. Add features to an existing installation that will be discussed. Okay. So as of now, we'll discuss new SQL Server standalone installation. So what is this standalone, guys? What is this standalone? What is meant by standalone?
Single
It is not in any system.
Correct. So standalone building means what? Generally a single building, right? A standalone building means a single Windows machine. Single Windows machine is called a standalone. Means standalone installation means installing SQL Server in a single Windows machine. Shanmukh, other than this, what other installations we have? We are saying standalone installation. What is the other instance we have? If what is the plural word for standalone? Standalone, okay, and standalone means a single server, right? And we have like many servers. We can install standalone means installing means installing SQL Server in a single Windows machine. Okay, and we have one more installation called cluster installation. Okay, cluster installation. So what is this cluster installation, guys? Installing SQL Server in a
multiple.
machines. That is called cluster. Cluster means group of servers doing a common task. That is called cluster. This will be discussed after 1 month. Okay, during the advanced concepts, the cluster installation will be discussed. So standalone means simply installing a SQL server. Imagine this is a Windows server. Imagine this is my Windows server, which is 192.168. What is the IP address? 192.168.137.253. 137.253. Okay, so this is the server. Imagine this is my Windows machine. In this Windows machine, in this Windows server, I can install one SQL server, guys. Okay, SQL server. I'm installing one SQL server. Okay, so I can install one SQL server. So like this, I can install multiple SQL servers, guys. Okay, multiple SQL servers in the same Windows machine. I can install multiple SQL servers. How many SQL servers I can install in a single Windows machine, guys? Can anyone tell me? How many SQL server we can install on a single Windows machine?
Actually, 50, one default and
Default.
the other 49.
Correct.
Name.
I can install 50 SQL servers. See, like this now, how many? 12, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. 12 instances, right? Each one is one instance. This is one instance, this is another instance, this is another instance, this is another instance, like that. Each one is one instance, guys. But forget about all these things. Installation is same, whether you are installing one copy or you are installing 50 copies, process is same. Okay, so standalone instance means installing SQL Server on a single Windows machine. Single Windows machine is called a standalone installation, guys. Okay, so standalone installation. So now let's go to the server. Okay, I can choose this option. I'm going to install SQL Server. If it is a cluster, you can see here. Okay, so you can see new SQL Server failure cluster installation. That is different. That comes under advanced concept. Okay, so as of now, you will start with a single instance, guys. Okay, click on this option, new SQL Server standalone installation, or add features to the existing installation. That will be discussed during the installation process. This part, add features to an existing installation. What is this will be discussed.
Shanmugh, that cluster installation is fade out, right? Like, do we have other setup file for cluster
Correct.
installation?
Correct. Setup file is same, but environment is not cluster, right? So it was identified this as a standalone machine only.
Okay.
Okay, right. Fine. So now you can see we are going to install developer edition. Developer edition is free. In case if you want to install any paid edition, you can choose this, enter the product key. You will get the product keys in your organization, guys. You have to get it from your organization. There will be a key vault. Okay, key vault. People will manage all the keys and all software related keys. Everything will be managed, guys. Key vault. Or else there will be some other, generally depends upon the organization to organization. Some people will use key vault, some people will use some other applications, Confluence pages, different. So there you can get the product key. You can give the product key here, guys. So this is how generally we'll install a paid edition. Okay, so let's go with a free edition. So we are going to install a free edition. Under free edition, you can see Express edition is completely free. Okay, and we have a lot of limitations with Express edition. Developer edition is also completely free. All features will work in the developer edition. Okay, there is no challenges or limitations with the developer edition. Developer edition is almost equal to enterprise edition. But what is the problem, guys? Why we don't install developer in the organization? I mean to say in the production servers.
Expired.
Yes, that is a free, right? Free editions we don't generally. That is illegal to install free editions on a production environment. Right? So that's why we don't use developer on the production servers, but on all non-prod servers, non-prod environments, we'll install developer only. Developer and enterprise standard installation process is same. You don't see extra options and all. For all the editions, process is same. So I'm going to choose the developer edition, guys. Okay. So go to next. Right. So now if you see here, you can guess the next screen from this list, guys. Okay. From this list, you can see, you can guess the next screen. What will be the next screen? Next screen after this, next screen will be global rules. Next screen will be Microsoft update. Like that, you can see. So until this screen, we are going to do a installation. So every software we have to accept the particular vendor license terms, right? So I'm going to accept it. If you don't accept, you cannot continue, guys. Okay, it will be grayed out. So we have to accept the license terms. Okay. So now you can see it was enabled. You can go to next. Right. So now if you see here, okay, there are some pre-checks will run and it will tell whether this system is suitable to install SQL Server or not. Okay. These are the checks. These checks will run, pre-checks. These checks will run before installing the SQL Server, guys. These checks will run before installing the SQL Server. So lot of checks like this you can see in future screens and all. You can see lot of checks like this. Here you can see total 8 checks are there, right? 8 checks. You can see total 8 checks are there. So what you have to remember here, all the checks should be passed or warning or skipped. All the checks, either it should be part of passed section or warning section or skipped section, guys. Out of 8 checks, if any one check is failed, out of 8 checks, if one check is failed, generally you cannot proceed for installation, guys. Out of 8 checks, if one check is failed, for example, if you see here, this is one check, which is green check, right? So green means passed, guys. If it is failed, you can see a symbol like this, circle with red color, like this you can see here. Here you can see this kind of symbol if it is failed, and here also it will show you failed. So out of 8 checks, if one check is failed, you cannot proceed to install SQL Server. This button will be grayed out, guys. You cannot proceed. This button will be grayed out. Either all should be success or all can be warning also fine. It will allow you, or can be skipped also fine. Either it should be part of passed or warning section or skipped section. But even one check is also failed. Out of 8 checks, even one check is also failed. It don't allow you. Shanmukh, only one check, right? Please give me the discount. That is not possible with the SQL Server. Okay, either all checks should be passed or all checks should be like warning, or all checks can be skipped. But if one check is failed, you cannot proceed. Not only in this screen, in future also you can see lot of checks like this. So you can see all the checks. If it's passed, that's fine. No need to worry. If it's warning also, no need to worry. If it's skipped, that's very fine. But even if one check is failed, you have to stop the installation. You have to cancel this. You have to cancel the window, and then you have to again fix the issue. For example, imagine if it is failed with restart computer. What is the solution, guys? What is the solution?
We need to restart the server.
That's it. Very simple. We have to restart the server. It's not going to allow you until you restart the server, Windows machine. Okay, so this is how generally checks are going to play a key role, guys. It is going to check whether everything is suitable or not, whether this system, the environment is suitable to install the SQL Server or not. So using these checks, it is going to check, guys. So once it's fine, like, okay, all the checks are fine. So green checks, that's fine. Warning means like this, you can see, guys, a triangle symbol. See like this. You can see a small triangle right here near computer. Warning. Error means you can see like this. Okay, you can see the error. Okay, like this red color button. Okay, like this you can see here. You can see here. So like this you can identify which one is failed and all, and you can mostly all checks will be passed or like skipped, guys. So mostly it won't be failed, but in case sometimes restart computer check and all will be failed. Maybe Windows team will install something. They don't okay restart the server. So this restart computer will be failed sometimes. So you can restart and they can reinitiate the installation, guys. So these are the checks generally. And Microsoft update, when you are installing SQL Server, yes, Rajesh. Any questions, guys?
Yes, regarding that if it is not supporting field, so is there any steps to follow for that?
Which
checks to-
one? Which one? Which one?
In the checks we have gone
That's what. See, mostly all the checks. See, in case if any of the checks failed, you have to check with Windows team, guys. Some of the components are with these checks will never fail. SQL Server related checks won't be failed, guys. Okay. Mostly these checks, it is going to check the platform, right? Whether the platform is suitable or not, it is going to check, right? So in case if any edition WoW 64 platform failed, you have to check with Windows team. Hey, they have to install some components, and these components generally it will come with the OS installation and all. So nothing to worry. In case if you feel that is not our component, you can, most of our SQL components will be succeeded, and remaining components, if anything is failed, okay, you can directly take a screenshot and you can send a mail to Windows team. They are going to help you out on this.
Yes, and setup administrator and setup account privilege, right?
Sorry, yes, setup administrator means we will have administrator privileges only. As a DBS, we will have administrator privileges only. If you log in with administrator, okay, definitely you don't face any of these issues. In case if you don't log in, as mostly DBS will be local administrator. Okay,
Yes, yeah.
99% they should be local administrator. Why? Because we are going to do lot of maintenance activities like copying the files, deleting the backup files sometimes, and creating some folders, installing the things and all. So we will have same privileges like Windows team in each individual machine, guys. We are part of the local administrators group. That I will show you. Nothing to worry. Where it will be. Okay, how we can add the person to a local administrator. So this will be discussed. Nothing to worry. Okay. Yeah. So now the next screen is Microsoft update. Generally, this we can skip, guys. What is this update means? You are installing SQL Server 2019, right? In case if there are any updates on the SQL Server 2019 software, they are going to install with the regular installation. But for this, it will use internet connection. In the organization, no servers will allow for the internet connection, internet access. All the servers will be intranet, will be in the intranet, means mutually communicated. Internet means it will be communicated, the servers will be communicated with the public network. Okay, that is called internet. Intranet means each server will communicate with each other. Intranet. Okay, mutually communicated, guys. That is called intranet. So without internet, this feature won't work. So you can skip this feature anyhow. After installation, will patch the SQL Server with the latest update. That is the post installation step. So even though if you select this option in the organization, it is not going to work. Why? It needs internet connection. Organization servers doesn't have any internet connection. So this check will be failed. That is okay. You can proceed. Okay. Go to next, guys. Right. This is the one. Okay.
Yeah.
Product updates.
Bro, I have a doubt. If it
Yes.
is the rules was skipped, it was skipped means there is a not an issue.
Sorry.
That you have explained about failed and skipped.
Correct. If
If it is
nothing to worry,
skipped means
that means that check is not eligible for this, okay, installation and all. So nothing to worry about the skipped option. Only thing is, if it is failed, you have to check. If it is skipped or warning and all, nothing to worry.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So as I said, product updates will be failed. Okay. So as there is no internet connection, definitely it will be failed. It's not an issue, guys. You can proceed to next. Anyhow, I told you, right, after installation, we'll patch the SQL Server with the latest update. So that's not a problem. Next, in case of any set of files needed to install SQL Server, it will install during the installation itself. In case if it is like for any installation related set of files are there, now it is going to copy the installation related set of files. Here also no need to do anything, just wait until it's going to be completed. This next step will be enabled. Then you can go to next, guys. Now it is dumping the set of files to install SQL servers, whatever set of files are needed. Now it is dumping from the software to the machine. It is dumping now, and then it is going to proceed after the set of files installation is going to be completed, guys. Wait for a while, it will be completed. and then we can proceed to next screen. Guys, installation of SQL Server is almost same. Shanmukh, you just shown me in 2019 how to install 2017, 2016, 2022. Components, concepts, wording, terminology, everything is same, guys. Okay, the installation of SQL Server is same across all the versions. If you go with the older version like 2005 and all, same concepts will be there, same terminologies will be there, but the interface will be different. Okay, 2005 means around almost 20 years back, right? Almost 18 years back. So the interface will be somewhat different, but the installation process and the concept, the terminologies, everything is same, guys. Okay, so nothing to worry about the installation. Like if you know one installation completely, one version installation completely, you can handle other versions installations also. Mostly 1 or 2 screens will be added, not a complete difference. Just 1 or 2 extra screens will be added. Depends upon the version of the SQL Server. Yes, Nikhil, please.
Sir,
Yes, tell me.
previously you mentioned in one Windows server we can host multiple servers, right?
Yes,
So those servers are, I mean, those are multiple standalone SQL servers, or what kind of?
Standalone only. On a standalone Windows machine, you can install all standalone instances only.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not like one is standalone, one is cluster. That's not possible.
Okay.
Okay. 1 minute, guys. Just 1 minute. Right. Okay, fine. Right. So okay, same kind of checks. You can see here, warning is there, but still you can proceed, guys. Not an issue. Windows firewall warning is there. Warnings and all you can proceed. Okay. So normal things like warning, skip and all, no need to do anything. You can just simply continue, guys. Okay. So let's go to next screen. So from here onwards, you can see the component section, which is very important. So during the initial classes, we discussed about the components. Components means in the software, what and all things you are going to get it. For example, if you buy any product, if you buy some chips, Lay's chips, you bought it. In that, you can see on the cover, you can see what and all components are there, what like the items. Okay. If you buy a drink, you can see the mix and all, like what and all components are there. So sugar, whatever it is. Okay. So like this, you can see all the components, right? In the same way, when you open SQL Server, you will get different components. You can also say it as a features. Features or components, both are same, guys. Features or components, both are same. Now listen carefully. So if you see here, there are 2 sections actually. Here, one is instance features. Okay. Second one is shared features. 2 sections we can see. In this, we can see in this window, we can see 2 sections. One is instance features. Second one is shared features. Okay. So what is this instance specific features and shared features? Let's discuss, guys. Okay. Let's discuss. So database engine is the heart of the SQL Server. If you are installing SQL Server, if anyone is asking, hey, please install SQL Server, then the very important component is database engine services. Without database engine, there is no SQL Server. Without database engine, there is no SQL Server, guys. So if anyone is asking us to install SQL Server, that they don't tell you, please install database engine and all. So it's our responsibility to select database engine. Why? Because that is the engine of the SQL Server. Like how the car engine is important to run the car, in the same way, database engine is important to run the SQL Server, guys. Everything, whatever we discussed, the data processing, storing, sorting, retrieving, everything will be done by your database engine only. Without database engine, there is no SQL Server. Right? Apart from this, we also have different features like replication feature and all. So this also will install during the installation. Other components, okay. Generally, we are going to choose database engine, replication, and full text. Full text means to search the data. We'll use search operation, right? We'll have millions of records. We are going to deal with millions of records. Lakhs, crores of records we are going to deal. So we want to search the data right quickly. Data retrieving, during the data retrieve process, we'll search the data, right? For that, we need this full text and semantic extractions for search. These three are very important components in the specific features. These three are very important components for the specific features. So let's discuss specific features and shared features. What is specific feature? What is shared feature? I'll give you an example, same example. If you are staying in PG, right? What and all your own things you will carry, guys? If you are staying in PG, what are the things that you will carry, like your own
Our
things,
personal items.
items? What generally your mobile is your personal item, right?
Laptop,
Your laptop is your personal item.
laptop,
Your
personal belongings.
personal belongings, dresses, whatever it is, those are like personal items, right? Specific features is also like a personal items, guys. For every sequence, I told you, right? We can install 50 instances in one Windows machine. Okay, we can install 50 instances in one Windows machine, guys. So imagine this is one PG. Control Z. Yeah, imagine this is one PG. I hope you know what is PG, right? Hostel, I can say. Imagine these are all students, right? This is one student, single student. Each SQL component is a single student, okay? One guy, another guy, another guy, like that you can see. Different guys we have, like 12 people are there in this PG. So when you install each SQL server, this guy will have his own mobile, his own laptop, his own something like dresses kind of thing. Like imagine three important components: his own mobile, his own laptop, his own dresses. In the same way, this guy also will have the same, right? His own mobile, his own laptop, his own dresses, whatever it is, personal belongings. I'm just giving these things as an example. Like this, I told you we can install multiple instances, like 50 instances in one single Windows machine, right? So this is first guy's personal belongings, guys. If you are installing second guy, again you have to choose the same components. That is second guy personal belongings. If you are installing third guy, again you have to choose the same components. That is third guy personal belongings. Getting my point, guys? So instance specific features are specific to a single instance. Getting my point, guys? Specific features are specific to a single instance. If you are trying to install one more copy of the SQL server, okay, if you are trying to install one more copy of the SQL server, again you have to select these components. Getting my point, guys? Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Small doubt.
Yes, please.
So
Your voice is breaking.
won't the select query execute? Won't it work?
Sorry, I'm not getting you.
So full action for search service is enabled to search the things inside the server.
Right.
So if we don't enable it, won't the search? Select
No.
or
No, no.
select query?
Not select query, search query. How you will say? See, search is not select query, right? Select is for data retrieving. If you use a where condition, then it will create the problem.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be discussing, guys. Don't worry. Right. So if you are installing second copy, again you have to choose these features. If you are installing third copy, again you have to choose these three features. These three are main, guys. Shanmukh, what and all other components we can see? Machine learning, R, Python, Java, data quality, Polybase. And we have three main other components. Those are called BIDS components. What are those things, guys? BIDS components. Business Intelligence Development Studio. Under BIDS components, we have SSIS, SSAS, SSRS. Okay, integration services. And analysis services, SQL Server analysis services. Okay, SQL Server analysis services. And we have reporting services, SQL Server, SS means SQL Server reporting services. Okay, SQL Server integration services, SQL Server analysis services, SQL Server reporting services. These are the extra components that we'll get. Sometimes users will ask us to install these components. Generally, they don't ask R, Python, Java. No need it. Like generally, we don't use also here. Other than these three components, we might get chance to install three more components. That is your SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. How to install Shanmukh? If you want to install analysis services, select this option. If you want to install integration services, there is an option called integration services. You can select this option. Okay, integration services. This is in the latest versions, 2019, right? In the older versions, you can see SSRS here only. In the specific features itself, you can see reporting services under analysis services. You can see reporting services for the older versions. You can choose select like this only. You can choose reporting services. But in the latest versions like 2019, 2022, Microsoft separated that reporting services component. So if you see here looking for reporting services, you have to separately download it from the web and then you can install it separately. But generally, earlier in older versions like up to 2017, you can see reporting services also. You can see not 2017, 2016, I guess up to. So in this list itself, you can see reporting services, analysis and reporting under specific features. You can see integration services. You can see under shared features, guys. Integration services you can see under shared features. Shanmukh, is it our work? Installation and configurations of BIDS components is DBA's work. Installation and configuration of BIDS components is a DBA's work. Generally, okay. So, but we don't generally work with these components. Those who are working as a business analyst, like Power BI and all, for them, we are going to install. Okay, so our part is just to install the components, guys. Like as discussed, we have to simply select the components to install the analysis services, integration services, and reporting services. Right, these are the specific services. Okay, we have to install based on these three are mandatory, guys. Remaining three, if customer is asking, Shanmukh, how would I know what components customer is looking for? Generally, during installation in the organization, will follow one sheet called build sheet, guys. What is the sheet? Build sheet. Why? Because during the installation, we need lot of inputs like server name, instance name, components to be installed. Like every time customer, he is not going to come to your desk, hey, install this component, that component. He can tell today, but tomorrow he can change his words. No, who said? No, I didn't ask you to install reporting services. Like that, there is a problem. You will create a problem, right? So for everything, we need proof. Okay. So before installing, customers, the users will create a build sheet. In the build sheet, they are going to include everything, what components they need. What should be the instance name? What kind of port number you are going to use? What kind of accounts you can add? What kind of features you can install? Everything will be added in the build sheet. This build sheet will be attached in the ticket. Okay. What they will do, this is a standard procedure, guys. Some people will follow this, some people they don't follow, but this is the standard procedure. Why? Because today he might ask you to install BIDS components. That is costly. Those components are costly. Again tomorrow, no, who said no need to install BIDS components? So it's double work and we have to pay extra license also. Right? So we need a proof, right? In the organization, whatever you are doing, guys, they don't believe you. Whether you said that there is an error, believe me, they don't believe you. They will believe only screenshots. Whether you have a proof or not, a written proof. soft copy is there or not. Okay, and that guy, imagine one guy is working since 10 years and you just started last month. Even though you are correct, they don't believe you. They will believe the 10 years guy only. So everything you should have proofs. Whatever you are replying in the mails, you have to reply with the screenshots always. That's the best way of handling the work, guys. That's how they are going to identify, okay, this guy is a genuine candidate. Simply the servers are up and running. If you send an email, they can believe or not, that is different thing, but they need a screenshot. Some people will, in the group of people, you are going to send a mail to the group of people, right? That is called DL. DL means a distribution list. What is this, guys? Distribution list. Multiple people will be there. Okay, group of people. Distribution list means group of people. So in this group of people, some people they want to see with their naked eyes. Otherwise, they don't believe. Again, people will reply back, hey, can you please send me the screenshot? I'll check. Now also, some people will say, Shanmukh, I am not getting the notes. Immediately, what I'll ask, guys? What I'll ask? I didn't receive any notes. I didn't receive any softwares. People will come back to me. What I'll ask? What is my first question? What is the first question, guys? When you're asking notes and softwares, generally I'll give the access. But still, if people are coming back to me, hey, Shanmukh, I didn't receive the notes and softwares, I'll ask one thing, can you please send me the screenshot? Why? Because sometimes we don't check in the spam. We might think that we checked in the spam. So that's why when I ask screenshot, some people will, okay, I can see now in the spam it was there. So like that, there is a professionalism, right? So everything that you are doing in the organization, always try to present with a proper screenshots. Okay, so this is the general difference between a genuine guy and a fake guy. And Shanmukh, every genuine guy is sending screenshot. Not like that. Some people, even genuine people also, they don't send it. But it will create a good impression, guys. If you're trying to send the emails with the screenshots, with the proper proofs, it will give you a good impression. Okay, fine. So now, specific components you have to choose. Other than these, if they're asking extra components, you have to select those extra components. This is related to specific features. Now, shared features. In the same PZ example, what and all shared things that we can use, guys? Same PZ example, what shared things that we can use generally?
TV.
TV is a shared component. So in a room, one
Mod
TV will be there, that 4 people or 3 people will watch the TV. Next,
modem.
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Modem is a shared component. Next,
Washing machine.
washing machine, very good. Refrigerator, right? These are all some shared components. So if any new guy added, are they going to buy extra modem, extra refrigerator, extra TV, or we have to adjust with the existing ones? Those are shared components. So they don't buy, in case if one extra guy is added, they don't buy extra TV, they don't buy extra refrigerator, they don't buy extra washing machine, they don't buy extra modem, unless and until if there is a huge demand. But generally, you have to use the existing ones only. So those are shared features. One refrigerator will be used by multiple people. One modem will be used by multiple people, many people in the PZ. One Wi-Fi router and one TV will be used by many people. So only one component will be there for the whole PZ or whatever it is, maybe for floor, something like that. Okay, these are the shared components. Shared components will exist only once per machine. Okay, only one shared component per machine. One shared components means, don't think in a different way. One TV, one Wi-Fi, one refrigerator, one whatever it is, the shared components. One copy will exist. So in the same way, for us also shared features are there. What and all some common shared features that we are going to install is client tools connectivity, client tools backward compatibility, client tools SDK, SQL client connectivity SDK. These are the 4 common components that we have to choose while installing SQL Server. So next time, if you are installing second copy, do I need to choose these components, guys? Just now I gave an example. If any new guy comes, again, the PG people are going to provide extra TV?
No.
No. You have to use the existing one only. Those are called shared features. So shared features will install only one time. That is for first time we'll install, guys, these 4 components. Next time I'll show you, I'll install one more SQL server. Okay. Next time I'll show you these 4 will be grayed out. Why? Because these are shared features. Only one copy will exist per machine, for the whole machine. Getting the point, guys? Shared features will be installed only once, that too first time. But remaining components, specific features will be existed as per the requirements. Like up to 50 SQL servers you can install, right? In the same way, shared features will be installed only once, and specific features will be installed depends upon the requirements, guys. Any questions here, please?
So reporting services will be the shared features or instance
No,
features?
good question. Reporting services is a specific feature.
Okay.
Reporting analysis specific, only integration services are shared features. Only one integration services will be available for the whole Windows machine.
Got it. Okay, bro.
Clear? So where you are installing, whether you are installing in the C drive only or you are trying to install in any other drives, generally we'll use a separate drive in the organization. Okay, so for that we are going to imagine we'll have D drive, E drive, something like that. Some people will use these components, some people will use the shared C drive only. Some other components like data files, log files, and all, for that they will change the drives. I will show you. As of now, the instance root directory, feature directory, shared features, everything will be installed in your C drive program files folder only. Okay, right.
Yeah, Shanmugh, 1 minute. Yeah, what about these other features like machine learning services
These are
and
the extra. See, Microsoft is giving
the
capability to add extra features. If you want, you can add it. Otherwise, you can leave it. If customers are asking.
so if customer is asking, then only we can install
Yes.
other features, right?
Correct, correct. That's why we will
So-
have build sheet, right? In the build sheet, customer will fill what and the
Okay.
components he need. He is going to fill it in the build sheet based
So
on the
that's
selecting.
that.
Yes,
Yeah. That's if the build sheet is available, then no issues. If organization is not maintaining the build sheet, means what are the components we need to install? Simply they said
yes,
install and
simply
give
you have to
SQL
follow
server.
like this. Yes, simply you have to choose only these components.
These basic. These are the
basic
standard
main components.
standard.
Yes,
Yeah,
template, standard template, you can say.
standard template. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay then. Right. Thank you.
I have one more doubt, bro, here.
Yes, yes, please.
So right now we are installing developer edition, right?
Right.
So in an organization, we'll be installing the enterprise and standard. So are these features are available on those
Yes,
different
yes.
editions as well?
These are the main features, Subbu. So definitely
Okay.
these features will be available.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yes, yes, please.
So if we are if you're installing enterprise edition, and the billing cost will be including for SSIS, SSRS, and SSAL,
If you are
or
selecting
it
the
will be
components,
different.
if you are selected the components, extra components means extra billing.
Extra billing.
Correct.
Okay.
If
Okay.
it's very simple, if you go to Swiggy, if you're ordering a pizza, you can see basic pizza will be there. But when you go to payment page, lot of options, customizations, whether you need chicks, extra cheese, extra something. So customization is there, right? So when you are selecting the components in the pizza, the bill is going to increase, right? Onions,
Yes,
now,
sir.
now onions kg is 70 rupees. Right. If you select onions, then your bill will be increased by 70 rupees. Or whatever it is. They don't use 70 rupees onions, but still they are going to increase 70 rupees, right? So if you need extra components, the bill will be increased.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Another doubt is, if we are planning to uninstall, we should not touch the shared services, right? If there are multiple instances.
Will be discussed. Will be discussed.
Okay.
The logic is, see, if you are vacating the PG, are you going to take the TV, refrigerator with you? No, the simple logic. That's why I just compared with the PG. So if you are leaving the office, if you are uninstalling one SQL server, how come you are going to uninstall the shared features that will be used by other people, right? Other instances. Here, the simple answer is no. Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah, actually, you have selected 4 shared features relating like client. Is compulsory features used by other instances also?
Yes,
Or
yes, 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 yes.
yeah,
Other instances
okay.
also. So next time you can see, next time when you're installing, you don't see these four will be grayed out. Because no need to, that's
Actually,
why,
you have selected so because these are necessary for
correct. These are
other
mandatory
instances
minimum
also.
requirement, yes.
Okay. I got it.
Yeah. Okay. And again, before installing, one more check is if it is new box, nothing to worry. If you are installing on an existing box, you have to check. I need 1736 MB required, and I have 14,000. So I need 1700 rupees, but I have 14,000 rupees. I'm okay, right? I can proceed, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Point, guys.
Yes.
I'm having extra free space. So this is also one more pre-check. In case if you are installing, guys, is my audio clear or any
Yeah.
issue like that?
Yes, yes, sir.
It's clear.
Yes, clear.
Yeah, Mahesh, just check your volume once, laptop volume once. Right. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
you have to, yeah, thank you. You have to check this, guys. You have to check this. Okay. 1736 is the required MB, required storage, but you have 14,000. If it is a fresh box, no issues at all. But if it is an existing box and you are installing SQL Server, you have to check enough free space is there or not while installing. Okay. If no enough free space, generally the installation will be failed, guys. Installation will be failed. So this is one more important disk space requirements. You have to check this one, whether you have enough free space or not. Okay, fine. So already installed. See here Windows PowerShell 3.0 and higher, and even .NET Framework also already installed. Prerequisites, whatever prerequisites are there, all the prerequisites are already installed. You can see here. Right. So now let me go to next screen, guys.
Yes, Shanmugh. Can you show regarding that bits in also?
Bits, that's what. If you need analysis, you have to choose analysis. If you need integration, that's how we'll discuss bits
Yeah.
components. We don't discuss more on that.
So can you select now?
Now that is not possible. Let's go with this. Why? Because you'll get extra screens. Let's first try to understand these components.
Okay, next class. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So now if you see instance, I told you, right? Instance means what, guys? One SQL Server software copy is called one instance. Like this, how many instances I can install? I can install 49 plus 1. Okay, total 50 instances. Why Shanmugh 49 plus 1? You can say 48 plus 2, 47 plus 3. Why 49 plus 1? So the maximum instances that you can install in a Windows machine is 50 SQL Server software copies. Again, instance is nothing but a software, a SQL Server software copy. I can install 50 copies, means it's a PZ. The maximum capacity of this PZ can be 50 people. Getting my point, guys? The maximum capacity of this PZ is 50 people. Shanmugh, I'll provide extra beds in the veranda, so I can add some more people. That's not possible. You cannot add extra beds and all for money. Okay. So this is like the maximum limitation will be 50 people. Up to 50 people you can install, or up to 50 instances you can install in a Windows machine. Shanmugh, in the organization, how many instances generally will install? Only one instance per machine. Generally, the general case is only one, but Microsoft gave the feasibility that you can install up to 50 copies. Generally, only one instance per Windows machine will be there. Sometimes you can see two instances. Very rarely you can see three instances or more than three instances in a box. Mostly 60 to 70% is only one instance they will utilize. Why? Because if you are installing two instances, if these two instances will be used by two applications, if you want to restart the whole Windows machine, both the applications will be down, right? So they don't take that kind of chance. Anyhow, they are spending a lot of money. They don't compromise. So mostly 60 to 70% is only one instance per one Windows machine they will install. I'm saying they will install, but they can install 50 instances in a Windows machine. Getting my point, guys?
This one.
Right. So 49 plus 1. Why 49 plus 1? Okay, we have two types of instances. Okay, so one is default instance. Second one is named instance. Okay, one is default instance, second one is named instance. What is the difference between these two? No difference. Both are same only. Then why we have two? Only naming. Okay, only naming is different, guys. So if it is default instance, we'll use different name or computer name to connect to the server. Computer name. Default instance will always take computer name to connect to the SQL server. Named instance, you have to give computer name while connecting, guys. In the SSMS, I'll show you. Okay, instance name. Don't worry about this. I'll show you during the SSMS. I mean to say, after SQL server installation, I'll show you. What is the difference between these two, Shanmukh? Default and named two types of instances. Features wise, functionality wise, both are same. No extra features, no extra functionalities between these two. Only difference is, if it is the default instance, you have to use computer name to connect to the SQL server. If it is named instance, you have to use computer name / instance name. So computer name is a kind of a surname, guys. Okay, so generally, if you installed one instance, where it was installed, you have to identify, right? So and so computer. We have surnames, right? So and so surname, family name. I can say family name / your name. So that is the only difference between these two. Then Shanmukh, why we can install only one default instance? You said like 50 instances. Out of 51 default instance, remaining 49 are named instances. Why, Shanmukh? Why only one default instance? Why not two default instances? Sorry?
We have only one mission and we have only one name.
Very good. Any other answers, guys?
Can you repeat the question again?
Why only one default instance? Why not two default instances? We can install 50 instances, right? Out of 51 is default. All remaining, all 49 are named instances. Then why
we have only one computer, one computer name is.
Yes.
Okay, so we cannot use another. We cannot use the same name for another instance.
It will conflict each other if we have the default instance.
Very good. Okay, so let me check now. Unfortunately, we don't have two people with the same name in the participants list. Okay, fine. That's correct, guys. Okay, so we can install only one default instance. Why? Because it will use the computer name, okay, to connect to the SQL server. So imagine this instance is a default instance. Okay, let me what we can do, let me show there's some difference between a default instance. Imagine, okay, let's go with this one. Imagine an instance. This is a default. Imagine these are all named instances. This is somewhat different icon, right? This is the default instance. This will have one name, right? Every component will have a name, right? You have your own name, I have my own name. Imagine two Shanmukhs are there in this meeting. One more Shanmukh is there, or two more Shanmukhs are there. Now, if I call Shanmukh, the best case is both will respond. Worst case is this Shanmukh will think maybe he's calling other Shanmukh, and that Shanmukh will think maybe he's calling some other Shanmukh. So both will not respond, right? So that's why it will create a conflict to the application. In the application, we'll give computer name or instance name to connect, right? So in that case, if two instances with the same name is there, to which server it is going to connect? It will create a problem, right? So that's why always we can install one default instance for one Windows machine. Getting my point, guys? Why we can install only one default instance for one Windows machine? Because of the conflict naming issues. Because of the naming conflict, we can install only one default instance. We cannot install multiple default instances. Now the question is, open the chart, guys. Open the chart. Set the direct message to Shanmukh. You can see two options right in the chart. Select my name, Shanmukh. Okay, don't send it to the group. I want to see how many of you understood this concept clearly. Okay. Now ready, guys? I'll ask one question. You have to respond. Okay. Ready? Done.
Yes.
So now I have two instances of different versions. One is SQL Server 2017. Another one is SQL Server 2019. Now don't tell your answer. You have to type your answers. Can I install 2017 default instance, one default instance, and 2019 default instance? Means, can I install default instance for each version? Why? Because 2017 and 2019 I can install in the same box, right? This is my Windows Server 2019. No, we cannot install 2017 and 2019 in the same box, guys. Can we install 2017, 2019 in the same box, or we cannot?
We cannot install.
We cannot install 2017 and 2019?
Install, sir.
Yes.
Yes, we install.
No, we cannot.
You cannot? Okay, very good. Now we got a good question. Chalo, in the PG, all are from same age group or different age groups?
Different.
Right?
There may be same age group, there may be different age group. That should be different. Yeah.
Correct. But definitely it's not like there is no rule. There is no rule that everyone should be same age group. Right?
Yes.
Definitely people will have Mutmaru, you are doing something on my screen. 1 minute. 1 minute. Clear all drawings.
Can sometimes see configuration manager.
We'll be discussing, sir. We'll be discussing.
Like,
okay, done. Right. Now the question is, I'll tell you the answer, guys. Okay, so we can install different versions. If the OS is supporting, you can install different versions in the same Windows machine. One instance can be 2017, another instance can be 2019, another instance can be 2022. If your Windows machine is supporting, you can install different versions in the same Windows machine. It's not like that. You can install only one SQL Server version across the whole Windows machine, not like that. Out of 49 instances, okay, one instance can be SQL 2017, one instance can be 2019, one instance can be 2022 also. Can be possible. You can install if the OS is supporting. Okay, if the OS is supporting, my Windows operating system is Windows Server 2019, right? This is Windows Server 2019. So can I install 2017, 2019, 2022 in this machine?
Yes.
I can. Yes. I can install, no issues. Guys, it's not mandatory that you can install only one Windows machine. I mean to say one SQL Server version across the Windows machine. If OS is supporting, you can still install SQL Server 2016 also in this Windows machine. Okay, right. That is not my actual question actually. So can I install 2017 default instance, 2019 default instance in the same Windows machine? Don't tell your answers. Type your answers. Don't tell your answers. Can I install default instances of different versions in the same Windows machine? I hope you got my question, everyone. Tell me your answer, whether it is yes or no, no issues. You can use Inky Pinky Ponky, you can use Akpak, Karvepak, anything you can use. Just tell me your answer. I need a response. Right. Fine. Okay, so I got 20 responses. We have 27 people. 7 people are, I guess, they are sleeping. That's okay. No problem. Okay. Right. Fine. Rajesh ji, no. Sandeep, no. Sanjay, no. Mahesh, no. Gautam, no. Srinuyam, yes. Ganesh, no. Pushpalata, no. Subbu, yes. Himanshu, no. Rajesh, no. Ruth, yes. Srinivas, no. Shravan, no. And Murli, yes. We can use Venkatesh Kumar, no. Nikhil, yes. Yes, we can install Sirisha. Show Gurunathan, yes. Install default instance in every instance. Satish, I think no. When we can install 2016, 2019, we are installing. Samyukta, you cannot change your answer now, or you cannot type your answers once I started reading the answers. Okay. We are installing different versions of animation. Right. Fine, guys. So the answer is no. Okay. Those who said yes, I guess 6 people or 7 people said yes. Not possible. No. Why? Because whether it is 2017 or 2019, it will use the same computer name, right? So once you installed a default instance, your computer name will be locked with this instance. It don't allow you to install one more default instance. It will definitely show you to install named instance only. This option will be grayed out. Once you install the default instance in the Windows machine, in this 253 Windows machine, next time if you're trying to install one more instance for the same version or for the different version, this option will be grayed out, guys. Getting my point? Why? Because the same concept. In case if you are while connecting in the SSMS, if you give computer name, which instance will connect? 2017 or 2019? Which instance will connect, guys? If it is allowing 2 default instances while connecting, if you give computer name, to which instance the application will connect? 2017 or 2019? Definitely there will be a conflict, right? So it don't allow you. Clear, guys? Right. Now, one more.
Can you just explain a comment which I have mentioned? I mean, I just want to know whether I'm correct or not. Satish here.
I think no, when we can install 2016 and 2019, so obviously we are installing different 2 versions in single machine, which has, that's what we discussed, the same thing. Conflict, okay? It will raise a conflict, so it don't allow you. Your answer is correct only, Satish.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Right? So guys, the same thing, even though it is a default instance, I mean to say, even though it is a 2017 or 2019, once your default instance, only one default instance we can install, right? If you install default instance, the default instance port will be locked. So it don't show you the default instance option for the second instance, whether for the same version or for the different versions. Okay?
Okay.
Clear. So now my question is, try to answer this question, guys. Try to answer this question. I mean to say, type your answers in the chat. Can I convert default instance to named instance after installation? Or named instance to default instance? Is it going to allow me? Try it, no issues. No issues at all. Just try it. You can just try it. Can I change a default instance to named or named instance to default?
No, sir.
Try your answers in the chat.
Shanmugh, can you repeat the question?
Now you installed default instance. Can I change the default instance to named instance or named instance to default instance? Is it going to allow me to change the existing instance type? Eighteen answers I got. Okay, so let me check. I got 19 answers. It, guys, we don't have time. We have to discuss a lot of other things. Right. Chalo, it was locked. Don't type your answers now. It's done. So good morning. What is the last message? 8:27. What is the time now? 8:28, right? 8:26. Mahesh. Sanyukta, okay, done from Sanyukta Madhavi onwards. Okay. 826 Madhavi, no. Mahesh, yes. Srinivas, yes. Sandeep Dasri, no. Yes. Ganesh, Neeraj, no. Shiv Gurunathan, no. Mutmuri, no. We can't change. Subramaniam, no. Srinu, no. We cannot change. No, sir. No, we have to migrate. No, we have to do migration. Very good, Gautam. No, Sirisha Venkat. Yes. Pushpa Lata, no. 1 minute, let's just 10 minutes. Yes, okay. So no, only few people, like 3-4 people said yes, guys. The answer is no. Okay, that is not possible. Okay, so that is not at all possible. You cannot change the default to named, name it to default after installation. Okay, so the answer is no, you cannot change. Is it mandatory to install default instance in a Windows machine? You can tell your answers. No need to type.
No,
No.
Mandatory to install default.
not mandatory. Not mandatory.
Okay, so can I go with named instance for the first time?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory to install either default or named. Whatever you want, you can install. Just that is only for naming convention, guys. There is no difference at all between default or named. It's not mandatory to install default instance, but in the organization, mostly we'll go with the default instances. Why? Because it's easy. Again, giving extra name. Instead of that, first instance will be in the organization a default instance only. First preference, they will give it to default instance. If they want to install second copy, they will go with the named instance. All the second copies will go with the named instance. But again, nothing is mandatory. First time it can be default. First time it can be named. Okay, right. So I'm giving default instance only. Yeah, I'm giving default instance only. Okay, so you can see here if any other components or any other instances installed in this machine, you can see here. As of now, this box is empty. Why? You can see installed instances showing empty. Why? This is the first instance.
First time we are installing.
Nothing is there in this. Okay, so that's why you can see this box is empty. Next time, if you see this, you can see one component here. I'll show you. Go to next. Instance ID, I'll show you. MS SQL Server, right? I'll tell you what is this MS SQL Server. For default instance, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is very important component. Yeah. Named instance. If you choose named instance, what can be the name of the instance? This will be updated in the build sheet. This will be updated in the, very good, Shiva. I'll tell you. Okay. This will be updated in the build sheet, guys. You cannot give your own name. Okay. You cannot give your own name, guys. Whatever Sanmukh, I like my own name. I want to give my own name. I'll give my own name. Okay. Like I love you, daddy. I love you, mommy. You cannot give your own name. Okay. That is not possible. So there will be a standard procedure in the organization. As per the standard policy, the naming conventions will be there. There are some limitations for the named instance. Instance name cannot be more than 16 characters. Okay. Instance name cannot be more than 16 characters. I'm sorry, not 26, 16 characters. Okay. Instance name should start with only alphabets. Yeah, only alphabets. It cannot start with numbers and all. Okay. And it don't allow any special characters in the instance name other than, it will allow only 2 special characters, $ and underscore. Okay, these 2 special characters it will allow, guys. These are the 3 main limitations while naming the instance. It don't allow more than 16 characters. You cannot give the instance name with a special characters or numbers, it should start with alphabets only. It don't allow any special characters in the instance name other than dollar and underscore. Now tell me, batch52 SQL Server. Is the instance name valid, guys?
No.
No.
Yes, sir. Space.
No.
No.
No or yes? Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. No or yes?
No, because
No.
the
No.
space is
Space.
we cannot use.
Space.
Space it won't.
So space is a special character.
There shouldn't be
Yes,
the
yes,
naming
it is
convention.
special character.
We have to use only capital letters.
Oh, is it?
No need of capital.
Am I mentioned like this in this pretext?
Only
No,
the
No, it
alphabet.
didn't.
I don't think so. Okay. Good try, good try, good try. But that's not mandatory. You can go with a small uppercase, lowercase. That's not an issue. That's not an issue. Can I start the name with like this?
No.
No.
No, sir.
No.
It should start with alphabets only. So it's here in this case, it's starting with a number. So guys, the last name is also wrong. This name is also wrong. Space is a special character. It don't allow you. Space is a special character. It don't allow you. Okay. So can I give a name like this? Okay. Still, it is also not correct as we have a space here. So you can remove the space. Can I give the name like this?
No.
Yes.
No or yes?
No.
Yes. Yes.
No or
Yes, yes, we
No.
can.
Yes.
No, yes.
Yes.
Keep quiet. This is correct. Underscore it will allow you. Underscore and dollar it will allow. Okay. Can I give name like this? Yes. You can include
Yes.
both. No issues. Okay. So these are the limitations of the naming convention with the named instance, guys. Okay. These are the main limitations with the named instances. In case if by mistake, if application people, they don't know this, right? If application people included any different names and all, try them. That is not going to allow. So it's not possible. We have to follow these conventions. You have to use these conventions only. Okay, right. So instance ID, listen, remember carefully, MS SQL Server. Remember carefully, we'll discuss. Okay, we'll discuss about the instance ID. Go to next. Right. Service account, very important screen. Just try to listen carefully. Okay, concentrate, guys. Very simple. What is the goal of the SQL Server? Tell me. What SQL Server will do?
Store the data.
Database maintenance.
What SQL Server will do? What are the objectives of SQL Server, guys?
Store the data.
Store the data in the structure.
Data. Modify the data.
Very good.
Decrease the data.
Let's go with one. So what is the functionality, like the main objectives of the SQL Server? The goal of the SQL Server is it will be used for storing the data, processing the data, and retrieving the data. Storing, processing means which operation, guys? Which operation?
Write operation.
Write operation, right? So you want to store some data to this. Where it will store? SQL Server means you don't directly store in the SQL Server. Okay. The backend drives will be there at the end of the day. Everything should be stored in the drive only, right? Even though you are using SQL Server as a front end, At the end of the day, it will write the data to the disk only, right? Correct, guys? So if you are reading the data, if you are inserting the data, if you are retrieving the data, okay? So imagine if you are writing the data, inserting some data. Insert means write operation, right? Insert means write operation. So someone has to write the data to the disk, right? Someone has to write the data to the disk. If you are running a select query, someone has to read the data from the disk. Write operation means if you are reading the data, one guy should be there. He should be able to write the data from SQL Server to disk. Okay, and one guy should be able to read the data from the disk to SQL Server. Who will do all these things? Who is going to do all these things, guys?
We.
Yes.
Service account, not SSMS. Service account. Service account. Service account is an account which helps to run the service.
Okay.
Is an account which helps to run the service. Okay. Service account will read the data, will read and write the data to the disk from the disk. Okay. So who is going to read the data? You are inserting, you are just connected to the SQL Server, guys. You are inserting 100 records. Inserting means where it will go. Inserts where it will happen, guys. At the end of the day, the inserts, the data should be stored to the disk. Then only the data will be stored permanently. You cannot store the data permanently in the RAM. RAM will exist during the, like if the server is up and running, till that period only RAM will exist. The data in the RAM will exist. But if the server is rebooted, the whole RAM will be cleared. So it should store the data permanently in one place. What is that place? That is called disk. But who is going to copy? Who is going to write? It's not like you are writing some data in the SSMS, directly it will copy to the disk. Copy also write operation only. Who will do that? All these things. Your service account will do that. Okay, your service account will do that. So service account is very important account. In the Windows, not only for SQL Server, every service that you are installing in the Windows machine will have a service account. But Shanmukh, while installing it, don't ask. It don't ask why. It will use the default service accounts. What is this, guys? The default service accounts. We have different types of service accounts. Default and custom service accounts. Customized or custom service accounts. So it don't ask. If you see here, let me open the services. Open run type services.msc. Every service. Why? Because I install a lot of applications. I'm using Zoom, I'm using Oracle VirtualBox, I'm using some other softwares like AnyDesk, like some different tools for my regular day-to-day activities, right? Whenever you install any software, every software will run based on the service. See, if you install Avesta software will actually run using this service. If this service is running, then only Avesta will work. You installed Zoom, right? So Zoom also will have a separate service name. Okay, so like that, every application in the back end, when you install that application, one service will be installed to make the application up and running, guys. For every application, the services will be created when you install. If the application wants to be up and running, means the service should be up and running in the back end. If the service is down, then the SQL Server will be down. Not only SQL Server, every application. SQL Server is also an application, right? Right, guys? So when you install SQL Server, some services will be installed in the Windows machine. This is my local laptop, don't worry. I didn't install in the Windows Server, right? So I'm not showing in the Windows Server currently. I'm showing in my local laptop. So when you install SQL Server, some services will be installed after the installation, successful installation. These services are responsible to make the SQL server up and running. Every service will have an account. See here under logon as section column, you can see an account name. Okay. So this account is a service account. Means this service is running or is going to run using this account. Whatever data that is reading or writing from the disk to the disk will be taken care by this service account. I didn't give any service account during the installation, but still you can see service accounts. What are these service accounts? These are all called default service accounts. If you don't provide any service accounts, it will use default service accounts. Okay, guys. Service account is mainly responsible to read the data from the disk, write the data to the disk, guys. Are you getting my point? Every service will run under one service account. Without service account, there is no service. The services will be down. If the service is down, the application will be down. For example, Avesta antivirus is there. What is the functionality of the Avesta antivirus, guys? What is the functionality of Avesta antivirus? It will scan the files, right? It will scan it. It will mark it as a virus file, and then finally it will delete the virus file. Scan means what? Read operation, right? It has to scan it. I have a lot of folders. Each and every folder it has to log in and it has to scan it, right? Each and every folder it has to log in and it has to scan it. Who will log in? Who can log into the folder, guys? Generally, who can log in? A user only can log into any folder. Your server, your service cannot log into any folder. It has to log in. It has to read each and every file, read operation. It has to mark it as virus file, write operation. It has to delete that file, write operation. Who will go to each and every folder? Who will mark? Who will delete? Your service account will do that. Getting my point, guys? Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So service only can do read and write operations. So SQL Server is also same kind of software. It has to read the data from the disk whenever there is a select query. It has to write the data to the disk whenever there is an insert query, update query, delete query. So who will do that? Your service. Instead of service, an account called a service account. Why? Because services cannot log into any folder. Service account only can log into every folder or every drive. It only can do read and write operations. So that's why every service will have service accounts. So by default, if you don't provide, it will use default service accounts. We have 3 default service accounts. So what are those 3 default service accounts, guys? Local system, network service, network system. This is local service and network system. Okay, network system. Okay, so local system, if you see here, no problem, guys, we'll give you time. Okay, if you see some of the components with the local system, some of them are there with the local network service, some of them are there with the local service also will be there. Local service, local service, local service. You can see somewhere in the below or somewhere you can see local service. See, local system, local service, network service. These are the 3 main default service accounts that you will get it. If you don't choose service accounts, SQL Server will use these service accounts. Getting my point, guys? It's not mandatory to give, but still will give service accounts. Why? I'll tell you. I'll give you a simple example. Same PG example. Or we'll go with this one. People, you are staying in a room, separate room. Okay? You are staying in a separate room, guys. One maid is there, daily she is coming, she is cleaning everything and she is going. Okay, now she is taking 30 minutes time to complete this cleaning section and all. Now 2 people are added to the room. One more friend came to the room. Now 2 people are staying in the same room. Only one maid is there. So is she going to complete the whole thing within 30 minutes now? Or it will take more time? Earlier only one person is there, so she is completing all the things in 30 minutes. Now 2 people are there. Is she going to take the same 30 minutes or she will take more time?
Take more time.
Definitely more time. At least 1 minute more time it will take. Right. Now 3 people are there. It will take 45 minutes to complete. 4 people are there. 1 hour to complete. Right. If people are increasing, the time taken by the maid also will increase to complete the works. Right. She has to clean utensils. She has to wash the clothes. So the time will increase. Right. Definitely the time will increase. In the same way, Shanmukh, we have already service accounts. Why again I'll go with the separate service account with SQL Server for SQL Server? If you ask, lot of components are there. For all these components, I have only 3 maids. All these components, all these people will run only on 3 maids. So definitely, if one more copy or one more SQL Server is added, again it will use the same existing maid, right? So which will increase the time, right? If you use the same existing components, the same 3 maids has to serve hundreds of people here. Definitely it will take more time to read and write the data, right? So that's why I'll recruit a special maid for me. She's only going to take care of my work. Even the 3-4 people are there in the room, I'll recruit a special maid. She will only work for me. That special maid is called customized service account. Okay. She is going to take care of only SQL Server. She is not going to take care of other services. Getting my point, guys? So this is the difference between default and custom service account. If you go with the default, definitely some performance issues will come, like in reading and writing the data. I don't want. I'll go with a specific, my own maid. So that maid is called custom service account. This one will be worked only for SQL Server. It don't take other services work. It will work for only SQL Server. So the processing, read and write operations will be improved. The performance will be improved. Yes, Satish and Gautam, please.
So as we discussed here, so the SA account will be default, right?
Correct.
For
No.
example, I have
SCA is different. SCA is different. We haven't yet discussed the SCA. SCA is not equal to service account. SCA is sysadmin. SCA account is different. Service account is different.
I mean a service account.
Yes.
So let's say I have a problem with my. So can I change it in between post installation?
Post installation, you can change it. Whenever you want, you can change it. Only challenge is you have to restart the SQL Server when you change the service account. Okay, so if you can take a proper downtime approvals, then you can change it. No issue. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll show you.
Right.
We have a task how to change the service account. I'll show you in the next class. Yes, please.
Sir, I want to limit default service account, but you have explained it. Thanks.
Yes. What happened with the default service account?
Sorry, default service account, it is using the larger services using the default service account. Performance will get affected. That's why we are using customized service account.
Yes, correct. Right? So guys, only the service account is, you might face some kind of challenges, but that's okay. It's easy only. Don't worry about it. Okay. So here I am going to use the existing accounts only, and the latest versions like SQL 2019 onwards. These are also customized service accounts only. We can call it as a virtual service accounts. No need to give. Generally, what we will do, we'll create a separate account and we'll give it as a service account here during the installation or after the installation also. Now I am going to use the same existing account. Later, I'll show you how to change the service account. Here, I'm not going to change anything. Now I'm going to install with the same existing virtual accounts. Okay. Later, after installation, I'll show you how to change the service account. This is an important activity you should know. Okay, guys. So I'm not going to touch these service accounts now. Clear? These are the virtual service accounts that SQL Server is going to create during the installation. Later, how to change the service account, a custom service account, how to add a custom service account, I'll show you in the next class. Chalo. These are the services will be created: agent service, database engine, full text and browser service. I'll show you what all services and folders will be created after installation in the next class. Right? Startup type, generally the startup type should be automatic. Startup type means what? When you restart the Windows machine, automatically these services has to start. Okay, we have many services, right? Some of the startup type is normal, some of the startup type is manual. Manual means what? When you restart the Windows machine, manually you have to start the service. That is not good, right? Who is going to start again, going to machine manually, and who is going to start the service again manually? It will create a problem. So that's why automatic is always good. When you restart the Windows server, automatically the services will be started. That's why startup type is automatic. Forget about disabled, I'll tell you. For security reasons, the browser will be disabled, guys. Will be discussed. Collation settings means language settings. Okay. Language means what kind of language? Guys, don't think we are dumping lot of things. No. Try to concentrate. Not at all an issue. Very simple components. If you just listen this recording again, slowly you will get the idea. Don't think like I'm dumping so much of concept here. Nothing, very simple. Try to understand. Okay. So again, installation, right? A regular activity that we'll do. Please watch the recording again and try to be clear with the terminologies that I have used. But easy only. Only service account, it might create some kind of a little bit confusion, but it's easy only. Don't worry, guys. Language settings, what kind of data? For example, you're installing one application in your phone. Definitely it will ask you to choose the language. If you choose English language while installing the app, all the controls you can see in English language, right? If you choose Chinese language, while installing the app, if you choose Chinese language or Hindi language, it will show in Hindi language. Right, all the options you can see in Hindi language only. In Telugu language, in local language, so like this you can see. So in the same way, SQL Server is also an application, right? This will also have some collation language settings, right? So what kind of data? The data that you are inserting has to follow this language setting. What is the default language setting? SQL _ Latin 1 _ general CP1 CIAS. This is the language settings, guys. Up to here, general language settings. Code page 1. CP means code page 1. Case insensitive. Whether the user is inserting data in lowercase or uppercase, it doesn't mean it should follow a case. If you want, you can go with case sensitive also. If you use case insensitive, you don't mind whether it is lowercase or uppercase data. Accent sensitive. AS means accent sensitive. Okay. So this is the default language settings that you can see while installing. Sharmukh, I don't want this. Generally, in the build sheet, they will update what kind of collation settings they need. You can change the collation settings according to the build sheet inputs. If you want to change it, you can go to customize. You can choose this option. You can choose whatever language you want: Chinese, Danish, French, Japanese, Korean. Hindi also will be there. Urdu. Hindi not there. Hindi not there. Oh my God. Hindi not there, unfortunately. Right, you can see different languages, guys. So, right, so you can choose any of the languages. But again, general language settings, if the customer is not updated anything, you can keep the same language settings: SQL Latin 1, general CP1 CIAS, the default settings. If customer is asking a specific language settings, you can choose the specific language settings from this list, guys. Okay, customize the list. So now my question is, can we change the language settings after installation? Try it. Can we change the language settings after installation? Sorry.
Yes.
I think not possible.
No, sir. No, sir.
You can instances property installation completely.
Right, I'll tell you the answer. We don't have time, right? So technically not possible, guys. Okay, that is not possible to change the language settings. If you want to change, you can do it by changing some binaries, but that's not a recommended practice. So still customer is asking to change, then you have to migrate the instance from one language settings to another. Migration process. There is a different process called migration. We'll tell you. Like simply creating a separate server with a required language settings, then we have to take the backup of the existing server and we'll restore in the other server, guys. Okay, so that's how we can change it, but directly it's not a setting to change. During the installation only we can see the setting. Okay, guys, this is called collation settings. And go to next. This is the main. After this, we can proceed to close this, guys. Installation will be completed. Try to listen it. Don't worry. Very simple. We'll discuss about this authentication in the security concept. What is authentication? What is Windows authentication? What is mixed mode authentication? As of now, I'll go with Windows authentication. I can change the authentication later also. I'll show you how to change it. You should know, right? So I can change from Windows to mixed to Windows. As of now, I'll keep it as it is. In the security concept, we'll discuss completely. If you choose mixed mode authentication, it will ask you the username and password. For SCA account, there is an account called System Administrator account. SCA account, you can give it. So nothing to worry, we'll discuss. Now, specify SQL Server Administrator. Listen carefully, guys. You are installing one application, right? Very critical application, SQL Server, sensitive data and all will be stored. So who is going to allow to connect to the SQL servers? You cannot give it's not a public library that everyone can go. They are going to take any book and they can read it and they can just go. It's not like that. Who can connect to the SQL servers? That you can specify here. If you don't specify here, no one can connect to the SQL server. Even you also can't connect to the SQL server. Of course, it don't allow you to specify without giving any account. It don't allow you, but the accounts that you are using in this screen only can connect to the SQL server. Getting my point, guys? Are you getting my point? The accounts that you are adding in this screen, they only can connect to the SQL server. They will get the system SQL Server Administrator privileges. Sharmukh, only during installation we can add. After, can we add it? Yes. If you have the lock, if you have the key, you can open the key and you can welcome the people. So to welcome, you should have key right first. Without entering into the room, how can you welcome others to enter into the room? That is not possible, right? At least one account we have to add here. This account can give access to other accounts. Getting my point, guys? During the installation, you have to add at least one account. This account can log into the SQL server after installation and he can create access to other users. Getting my point, guys? Any confusion, any issues there in the screen, please?
So we should say that we can add the other in the future.
Correct.
Okay.
So at least one account. If you don't add at least one account, it don't allow you to proceed. First of all, the next button, it will throw you the error. If you add at least one account, okay, later you can create, you can give access to others also. Again, without adding a single account in the screen, you cannot proceed. And guys, even though you're a company CEO, still you cannot access the SQL Server if you are not part of the SQL Server logins list. If you add the account here, it will create an account to this user. Actually, I connected through administrator account. If you connected through some user account, like some, what I can say, if you see here, this is the administrator account, guys. You can see here, administrator. Okay, if you see here, if you keep the cursor here, you can see administrator account. In the organization, you will have your own account. For example, if Satish connected, Satish name will come here. If Santosh connected, if some other person, Smith connected, you can see his. Why? Because everyone will have their own names. No one will connect administrator name. Why? Because if you are using the same administrator name, we cannot trace who is doing what kind of activities. So everyone will have their own access and all usernames and passwords. So as I logged into this Windows machine using administrator account, so that's why when I clicked on add current user, administrator account is added. Now I have an access. Now I can give access to Santosh, I can give access to Ruth, I can give access to Suresh, I can give access to Smith, I can give access to Joy. Why? Because I have the key. I can jump into the room, I can welcome everyone. Getting my point, guys? If you don't have access, you cannot welcome. If you don't have key, you cannot welcome others, right? The same way, if you have an access, you can log into the SQL Server and then you can welcome others also. You can give access to others also. Clear, guys? So this is very important, but again, nothing to worry. In the security concept, I'll explain more about this. What is login, what is user, what is secureable, what is principal, how to give access will be discussed. Initially, during the installation, you have to add, just remember this word, add at least one account here, and the organization will add all the DBS accounts also. Why? Because this is not for me. This is for the whole DBA team. So we are going to add the whole DBA team here. So everyone from the DBA team is able to connect to the SQL Server that you installed. If some other guy is installing SQL Server, he is going to add you, the whole DBA team. Okay, in the same way, you have to add the whole DBA team here. Okay, so that all the people that you are adding in the screen can access the SQL Server, guys. If you don't add anyone, they cannot access the SQL Server. Chalo, as of now, just try to remember this. Yes, please.
So if we add all the DBA here, would they access everything, or do we
Yes,
specify the roles?
Very good question. Specify SQL Server administrator means clear? SQL Server administrator have unrestricted access to the database engine. They can do whatever they want. If you add any person in this section, that person will get SCA, sysadmin access. So they can do anything in the SQL Server. But we can still restrict them using different options. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Can we add other accounts after installation? Is it possible? Shanmukh, you are saying we can add during the installation. After installation, can I add? Whenever you want, you can add the people. Okay, guys. It's simply giving access, guys. It's simply giving access. You can give access whenever you want. If the user have proper approvals, you can give access to him. Nothing to worry. Whenever you want, you can add. But initially, at least one account you have to add. Otherwise, it don't allow you to proceed. Okay, guys. So that's why I just added administrator. Data directories where the data files and log files will be stored. So as of now, I have only C drive, right? So it will take only C drive. This will be discussed after the installation. What is data file? What is log file? Everything will be discussed. As of now, I am storing everything in the C drive only. Keep it as it is. TempDB will be discussed during the system database discussion. Don't worry. Maxtop will be discussed during the performance tuning. Don't worry. Memory will be discussed during the performance tuning. Don't worry. If you discuss now, we cannot understand. We are in the initial stage, right? You can skip all these things. This will be installed by default. After installation also, we can change all these things. Okay. So these things I'll keep it as it is with the default values. File stream means any video related content you want to store. Netflix, YouTube, Udemy, these are all video related websites. Prime Video. So if you want to store large LOB objects, large binary objects, okay, like video contents and all, then we'll enable file stream option. If you don't want to utilize any video related data, you can just skip it. No need to enable that one. Okay, that's it, guys. This is the last screen, and let's go to next. And finally, it will go for some checks. And now listen carefully. Listen carefully.
So what? So last option, what did that?
Which
stream?
option? Which option?
Yeah,
Sir?
yeah. You just mentioned the stream where there is a large
That's why.
transactions.
That's why. That's what. Okay, so it will help you to store the video related content. If you want to store video related content, you can use file stream option.
Sir, is it only video or photos and files as
Video
PDF
related.
type?
LOB means large objects, videos, photos, high resolution photos and all.
Okay, okay. Sir, and I have one small doubt.
Yes.
So the directories, right? So if
sorry, directories?
a different
I will tell you.
Is there any advantage?
Yes, definitely. I'll tell you during the database discussion. We have a discussion on database. What is database? How many files will be created? So everything will be discussed during the database creation. Okay, so you don't worry as of now. You can keep everything in the same drive. Please, 1 minute. You can keep everything in the same drive. You can keep everything in different drives also.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so as of now, I have only C drive, so I'm using only C drive. I don't have any other fixed drives. Okay, so I'm not changing. But in the organization, we'll give data files different drive, log files different drive. But you should know what is data file, what is log file, right? That's why I'm not touching.
But there will be advantage, some advantage.
Definitely. See here, very simple. Everything is dumped in my D drive. Imagine. Okay, everything is dumped in my D drive. Okay, imagine. So lot of read and write operations will happen on E drive or whatever drive. Imagine if everything is dumped in the E drive, a lot of read and write operations will affect my E drive. If you see under task manager, you can see this. You can see disk operations. So if everything is dumped in the same drive, the disk utilization will be more on the E drive. So if I distribute it across the multiple drives, so the load will be balanced across the multiple drives. So performance will be improved. So in the organization also will distribute across multiple drives.
Okay.
But don't worry guys. Nothing to worry will be discussed. Okay, nothing to worry. Temp DB, max top memory, everything will be discussed. Okay, let's go to the final step. This is the final step. Again, if you see here, there are a lot of options we have selected, right? Action is equal to install. Lot of options we have selected: database engine, feature section, specific features, shared features, components, everything, service accounts, everything we discussed. So now what we did till now, you know, this window, actually the Windows server don't know the GUI option. It runs only on commands, not only Windows server, Windows laptop or desktop, whatever it is. You have to provide the command, then only it will work. If you are refreshing, right click, you are refreshing, right? To refresh, there will be a command. We don't know what is the command. We know how to refresh. Right click, we will do refresh. But when you right click, when you choose refresh, one command will run, it will refresh the server or laptop. In the same way, this window, the installation center, whatever we have selected, Windows server don't know about this window. Then how come it will install Shanmukh? This window at the end of the day, it will create a command to install whatever we have selected. That command will be stored in the configuration file.ini. Getting my point, guys? Windows, either laptop or server, GUI is only for our purpose, as we don't know the commands. What this GUI will do, it will convert that action into command. whatever components you have selected now, if you click install, what will happen, you know? This window will create a query and it will keep it in the configuration file.ini. When you click on install button, this configuration file.ini will be called in the command prompt. It will check all the inputs and it will install the SQL Server as per the listed inputs. Getting the point, guys? But I don't know what is the command to install the SQL Server. I know only GUI. Windows machine don't know what is GUI. It knows only command. This interface will help you to convert your actions into command, guys. Those commands will be stored in the configuration file.ini. When you click install button, the configuration file.ini will be called and the components that are there in the configuration file.ini, I'll show you the file also, will be installed as per the inputs. That's it, guys. That's all about the SQL Server installation. For the first time, it will take 10 to 15 minutes. Next time onwards, it don't need to install shared components, right? Next time onwards, it will be completed in 5 to 10 minutes mostly. Don't worry, guys.
Like we'll yeah, Shanmugh, hello.
Yes, please.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, does all the features, feature selections and all the like drives information will be saved in the INI
Yes,
files
yes,
or
yes, yes,
how it will be?
yes, yes.
Okay.
Everything will be saved.
Like collection of those things is INI file or
Everything, whatever you selected till now, every option will be stored in the INI file from the beginning to ending.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
I have a question.
Please.
So the is a one log file and one data file. So there are, I mean, some prerequisites. At least one log file should be there, one data file should be there, and there is another file. These are 3 mandatory files, or there are 4 mandatory?
Will be discussed during the database, Tausif.
Okay, perfect.
We'll
No
create
problem.
a database, right? So while creating database, two files will be created, one data file, one log file. So during
Okay.
that, we'll discuss what is data file, what is log file, how many files will be created, how they are going to be created, what is the functionality of each file. Will be
Perfect.
discussed during the database creation.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
No problem, Tausif. Questions, guys. Sorry, I didn't give you the break. Please don't mind. You can go for a break. Okay, so it will install, right? You can go for a break, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, it will take 10 to 15 minutes to install the SQL Server.
Yes, Shanmugh.
Yes, please.
It is that after giving the name instance and we have installed the SQL Server, can we rename that name instead?
Instance name you are saying. Very good question. Instance name also, it's not possible to rename. Okay, so again, for not possible means no direct method, not direct settings like right click something we can change, not possible. So if you want to rename the instance name, again, you have to go with the migration concept. You have to install a new instance with a new name and you have to migrate the whole data from old server to new server.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like once we install SQL Server, then SQL Server will be running in the backend, so nothing can be changed at that time, right?
Nothing can be, sorry, nothing can be.
That is the main thing, right? Like nothing can be changed from the backend, like features and selections or anything.
We can change some of the things.
Because
we
it
can
is
change.
running in the background, so we cannot do anything, or it is like
No,
okay.
no, we can do that. We can some of the things like changing the what I can say, instance name, changing the collation settings. These kind of things we cannot do it directly. But in case, for example, Shanmugh, you said we have to add 3 features. I forgot to add 1 feature. Can we add the extra feature next time? Can we
Yeah.
add the extra feature? We can add it. That's why you can see, if you see the option here, new standalone SQL Server
Add
installation or add features to the existing installation.
feature.
If you forgot to add some
Okay,
features,
okay.
or customer is asking integration services later, after 1 year he is asking, I can only install integration services after 1 year. Whatever features I want, I can add it. So some of the things you can change it, some of the things you cannot change it.
Okay.
Sir, a small doubt.
Yes, yes.
There is a custom service accounts, right? How
Yes.
can we create those accounts?
I'll show you, sir. Next class will be.
So I have one more question.
Yes, Tausif.
So as you know that I missed this class and the previous. So how so I mean, do I need to download virtual Oracle VirtualBox, or
I hope I gave you the link of the last class playlist. I mean to say last week playlist. I hope you just followed those 4 videos, right, Tausif?
Yeah, I followed that, but you were mentioning about the Oracle Virtual.
Right. Softwares and all will be shared to the registered people, as you know that.
And I think you did the previous class maybe in more detail about all that.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Guys, can I install one more instance parallelly? One instance is currently running, right? Installation. Can I install one more instance parallelly? Second instance.
No, not possible.
You can see here, okay? So it's grayed out. I cannot install one more instance parallelly. Okay, once this is completed, I can install the second instance. It will be enabled like this. It will be enabled. Then you can start installing second instance. But parallelly, you cannot install multiple instances in the same Windows machine.
I have one doubt.
Yes, please.
So in the initial stage of the installation, it was asking about the edition, which edition we can select. At the time, in my organization, if I select price edition, automatically the product key it gets updated.
Populated, okay.
May I know how? Yes, I don't know.
Which edition? Which edition that is?
Enterprise.
Okay, if you are selecting enterprise edition, automatically. See, generally you will purchase the software, right? So when you purchase the software, that is for which version?
I did not. I mean, 2020, 2019, I guess.
2019, okay. So when you purchase it, generally for the older versions, it don't populate manual. I mean, to say automatically don't populate. In the latest versions, maybe they did some changes. Okay, so in case if you have a registration key, and if you are a registered user, so it will take that particular key and all.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. And give me 10 minutes, guys. Let it install. Okay, so once it's successfully installed, I'll show you the last screen. Okay, so then we can close the session for now. We'll connect tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. IST. Okay. Give me 10 minutes. I'll be back. Okay. Right, guys, can you hear me now?
Yes, bro.
Okay, done. Yeah. Okay, so right, if you see here, so this is the last thing, guys, that you have to check whether all the components are successfully installed or not. Whatever we have selected, all these components are successfully installed or not. This is the last thing that we have to do in the installation. Everything, whatever components are there, everything should be successfully installed. All green checks are there. All are status, you can say all are succeeded only. Okay. So this you have to check it till the last screen. It should show install successful, right? So this is the last thing that we have to discuss, guys. I mean to say, we have to see the screen like this. That is the that's how generally we can finalize. Okay, installation is successful. Okay, fine. So in case if any components are failed to install, if the components are not installed properly, or the installation is failed, where to check, how to check will be discussed in the next class. So I'll give you a hint. So this is a file called summary.txt file. When you install the components, it will generate. So this file, it's a notepad. It will show you whether components are successfully installed or not, and what and all components are installed successfully. Everything you can see here. And you can also check the errors during the installation in case if any component is failed to installed. What and all components are failed to install, what is the reason why it was failed to installed will be discussed in the next class, guys. Okay, fine. So that's it for now. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your patience. Sorry for 2.5 hour session. So as it's the installation, I am not able to break the session. So that's it for now, guys. Whatever questions you have will be discussed in the next class.
Okay, bro.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, guys. Tomorrow we
Okay.
have the session. You can use the same link to join at 7 a.m. IST and 9:30 p.m. EST, guys. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. For US
you.
people, it will be tonight. Tonight, 9:30 p.m. EST. Okay.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Good day. Bye.